Okay, thank you all guys for bearing with me so much on this. I have no idea what was going on with Google Hangouts here. I do apologize for that. Usually I never have an issue with this, but welcome to the show. I had to go to another link. Hopefully you guys can find that. I don't know why the original one didn't work for some reason. I tried it like 3 or 4 times. So welcome to the show. Give me a second here. I'm going to get the chat stream hooked up, so hang on just a sec. And I'm going to Steve, welcome. Steve, welcome. Yes, I am on. This was a crazy way of getting on today, but I'm here. So let me get, there we go. Got that taken care of. All right, now we're good to go. I am so sorry about that, guys. I had no idea what was going on. But we're here. It's on a very rainy, I was going to try to do this outside. Oh, the wonders of YouTube. You got that right, Steve. I was going to try and do this episode outside, but we had a little thing called the first tropical storm of the season came through at Alberto. And anytime there's anything in the Gulf, it hits us. And we've had nothing but rain pretty much straight on for the last 24 hours. And the winds kind of died down. So, but it's still pretty bad outside, unfortunately. So, but welcome to the show, guys. Thank you all for showing up so much. Really appreciate that. Got a lot to go over here today. So, yeah, thunder and lightning in the UK. Wow. Rick, welcome to the show. And Rick, by the way, thank you for your generous contribution. I just got on to PayPal. I haven't been on there for a while, but I want to thank you very much for that. It is very much appreciated. Thank you so much for that. Like I said, we got a lot to cover here today. Wanted to talk about something. I started a channel before Bill the Drone Reviewer, and it's called Bill the Technology Reviewer. And what I'm doing is I kind of put that a little bit onto the back burner while we got going with Bill the Drone Reviewer. And my original intention was to try to keep both running at the same time. Well, now, things are going well for Bill the Drone Reviewer. Of course, still, enjoying doing things for you guys, and that's never going to change. And the aspect of this channel will never change. But Bill the Technology Reviewer was set up to do multiple platforms. I was set up to do smartphones, was going to do drones and do other tech. For example, I just did a review on how to properly ventilate your home theater system, and that's up today. So if you guys, I would appreciate your going to check it out, subscribe. There's some good tech tips there. There's a lot of stuff. Stephen, welcome. Thank you for watching in Qatar. Wow. Thank you. Appreciate you showing up for the show today. So I'm going to put a link in the description. I did do a lot of crossover. You will see quite a few drone videos. And what I like to do is I try to now, when I'm doing drone videos on Bill the Technology Reviewer, I try to keep the more popular ones. I try to keep all the ones, of course, will be on this channel, but all the more popular ones. Bernie, welcome to the show today. Trevor, welcome from Canada. Thank you for joining. I try to keep all the ones are going to come out here. You're not going to see a lot of, maybe occasionally like cases or, lens filters or landing pads or that kind of thing. You're going to see more stuff related to like Mavic Air or Mavic Pro or Phantom 4, Phantom 5, that type of thing. So, so that's where that's at. So again, there'll be a link in the description. I would love for you guys to check that out. I only have about 71 subscribers to that. So definitely check that out. I do have a Facebook page for that. There's no group. And I also have a Twitter account for that as well. So I would definitely appreciate you guys checking it out, subscribing, and watching some of the videos. Again, there'll be an emphasis. As more info comes out on smartphones, and then once a week with that channel, what I'm going to do is based on my Bill the Technology Reviewer Facebook page, popular posts from the week. I'm going to do an article about that at least once a week. So be on the lookout for that. Also got contest reminders. The Elfie Plus contest. Bernie Store, welcome from the Bahamas. Thank you very much for joining today. Got the Elfie Plus, and that contest is ending on May 31st. So if you haven't entered, please make sure you do so. The instructions are very simple. I'll go over them again. You have to like and comment why you want to win the Elfie Plus on the Elfie Plus review video. I'll post a link to that in the description after the show is over tonight or this afternoon. And also, you have to be a subscriber to Bill the Drone Reviewer. That's basically it. That's all you got to do and get your name in to win that. And there's a lot of people entered. I probably got over 50, 60 plus people entering that. So that looks to be great too. I did get notice, and I did go ahead and order. I have 2 of the new low noise quiet props for the Phantom 4. They will be coming in probably the end of this week, and that's always a kick here in the States. UAT, welcome to the show. What happens? They ship it FedEx Ground here in the United States, but FedEx Ground only delivers Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to about 6 p.m. And if you miss it, it's tough. And they won't take it and deliver it to a FedEx Kinko store. They won't hold it. But so those props are on their way. They're supposed to be here Thursday. And I think what I may do is just, there's a place the delivery point's about 25 miles from where I live, and it may take a little drive next weekend to go pick those up. But the contest is still open for that, for the Phantom 4. And the props are good for, and I found this out officially from DJI, they're good for the Phantom 4 Pro and for the Phantom 4 Advanced. They're not good for the regular Phantom 4. So just want to let you guys know that. They're good for the Phantom 4 Pro. They're good for the Phantom 4 Pro or Phantom 4 Advanced, and obviously the Phantom 4 Pro V2.0. So definitely, and again, the contest is the same as the Elfie Plus. Check out the video that I did on that. Just comment why you want to win the props, like it, and make sure you're a subscriber. That's it. So don't have a lot of people entered in that, but again, I mean, these are good props. You're gonna see some definite significant reduction in noise with that per DJI. So you've ordered some off Amazon. Not sure they're original DJI props, Steve. Yeah, you might be right with that. There are quite a few people out there. But I went ahead. I had some DJI credits, so I used that. So like I said, those should be coming in the week. We'll get those in, and I'll definitely make an announcement when I have them in. And at that point, it'll be probably a day or two after that, the contest will end, and we'll pick somebody. And by the way, I'm going to use a software to actually pick the winner at random amongst the comments. So it's not, I don't do this and point and poke and all that kind of good stuff. So so that's it. That's it for the contest. Also, we're going to have Tuesday Night Rotor Talk Live as per usual this week. No guests this week, just going to have the best Tuesday Night Rotor Talk that's out there. So be sure to make sure you mark that on your calendars for 8 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll do our thing. Just absolutely love doing this. Got a reminder, too, on June the 5th, I have a very special guest, Billy Kyle, coming on. So if you guys subscribe to Billy, know about Billy, I'm so excited and so looking forward to that. He's one of the best out there, and my gosh, he's not even he's turning 21 this summer. So I'm really looking forward to that. Billy's such a great guy. Good friends with him. Put everyone's name in a hat, Steve. I like that. That would be good. Maybe have my wife draw it. Put everybody's name in a hat and have my wife draw it. That would be the way to do that. But I'm excited about having Billy on the show. Also have a couple of other ones I haven't confirmed yet. Definitely one of them you've definitely heard of. Another one of my favorites, and someone else who runs a good website regarding drones. I'm going to get him confirmed for late June. So once I do get those confirmed, I'll definitely let you guys know. But I'm very excited to have Billy on. If you get a chance to, Billy has a show on Sunday nights. So you may want to go check it out. He basically goes solo, doesn't have any guests, but it's kind of a Q&A kind of thing. Last week he went through his workflow on how he does videos. So, and it was very interesting. He is unbelievably detail oriented. Richard, welcome from New Zealand. Happy Monday morning to you. That's fantastic. Yeah, Stephen, he really is. I absolutely love Billy. Hopefully he gets down here to Florida sometime. I'm really looking forward to having meeting up with him and doing some food and sharing some stories. So that should be fun. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, I had a problem originally getting on the show tonight, so that's why I'm buffering here a little bit. Sorry about that. We're having some kind of nasty weather right now too, so I'm sure that's probably playing into it. I want to start talking about the videos. What did you guys think of getting that impromptu factory tour of DJI from the Mavic Air? Oh, good, Steve. That's good. I was so impressed by that. That was just 43 seconds of a glimpse inside the factory for DJI with the Mavic Air. Just incredible. And I did get permission from the gentleman whose Mavic Air was like that. And I guess somebody else had commented. He said he did see something on there, but he reformatted the drive on the Mavic Air, so maybe he had something in there too. So and I posted this as a comment. If any of you end up getting a new Mavic Air and you find something like that, or you hear of somebody and know that, yes, Steve, you're right. Somebody is going to get in trouble for that. That should not have happened. And I think, well, it is, Steve Cross. It is a very clean factory. I mean, it reminds me of the NASA White Rooms when they were assembling, where they assembled the space capsules and also satellites and so forth. Dust-free environment kind of a thing. But I wonder how many drones that are in boxes waiting for people to buy still have something else on there too. How many gems and how many people rode over it? I know when I got my Mavic Air to test from Florida Drone Supply, that was before they figured out the way to be able to get your videos off of the internal drive. It wasn't working at that. Really, Rick? Wow, that's crazy. That is just Pepe Le Pew. Welcome to the show. No, that's just absolutely crazy seeing that stuff. I mean, rarely do you get a glimpse inside of DJI. It just doesn't happen. Yeah, the internal storage. Yeah, that's absolutely right, Steve. When I got it, I couldn't access the internal storage at first because it was so new. There was an issue with that, and then they figured because of Windows 10, and then they figured there was a workaround. So yeah, I had issues. Thank you very much for joining this afternoon. So yeah, that was kind of very, very, very interesting. I mean, how many times most factories in China have a clean room like that? Steve Carpenter, you're right. They do. I mean, it's pretty spot on. They don't mess around with electronics over there. They want to make sure that what's going on has some quality. Hopefully, Mavic Pro 2 boxes, Bill. Yes, Stephen, I hear you. Maybe they'll have internal storage on the Mavic Pro 2. Who knows? They may go back and have to open up boxes now to try to wipe stuff out. I mean, but it's interesting because you got a chance to look at. They showed some of them shooting camera targets, and just looking at how. The other thing that impressed me too with this was that it's not all automated. That the final part of the assembly is very manual, and there's a lot of testing that goes on. So I think it's great. I wish DJI would have released something. I think that would have been fantastic. But you know, it is what it is. And, you know, DJI is a pretty, you know, they're playing things close to the vest right now with a lot of things. And I don't know, one of the other things I wanted to talk about before we start talking more about drones was, you probably heard, and I know Original Dobo, who I had on last week. And by the way, absolutely, Ken, if you're out there, thank you so much for joining me last week. Great show. Absolutely loved having you on. Had some great talk. If you guys didn't catch it, go back and catch Tuesday Night Rotor Talk Live. I had Ken, Original Dobo, on. Had a great time talking with him. We talked a little bit about the lawsuit between DJI and Ital, and now Ital is finally sued against DJI, and you know, it's just, you know, who knows what's going on with all that right now. I mean, it's you know, a lot of it's about patents and stealing things and design. Yeah, I think Ital will look at what drone production looks like. Yeah, Steve, you're right. I mean, seriously, they need to get, and that's one thing. That's all I'm going to say about the lawsuit. That's just a big mess that's going on right now. It's a lot of posturing, but Ital really needs to get their act together here. You know, they've had people on the hook since January, and I've heard mentioned a couple of times with Ital that some of the representatives have admitted to people that they've actually had on and been able to talk to was that they probably shouldn't have had it at CES 2018 back in January, which I agree. If it's not ready, if it's not going to be ready in a month or 2 months, don't have it out. You know, we're pushing June, and it's coming on at least 5+, almost 6 months, and there's no drone from Ital. I mean, you know, you start running out of reasons to find out why. You know what's going on. You know, I've heard heavy a lot about firmware and firmware needing updated, and I've also heard too that the app wasn't ready, and you know, just some things like that. But it is, Trevor. It is. It's getting into prime flying season. It's an excellent point. You know, and they're going to be on the ball, and you can bet. And I know DJI's been playing things close to the vest as far as the Mavic Pro 2 is concerned. You can bet it's waiting in the wings. You know, DJI is not going to hesitate for when they know when the nice weather is going to hit over here in the U.S., and they're going to be ready. You know, I had one of my other friends from the UK let me know that they had just put the Mavic Pro on sale for bank holiday over there, 100 off. So you know, they're posturing their inventory. They're being very smart with this, and I think they've built up enough inventory of the Mavic Pro 2. I think it's ready to go. I don't think there's any issues with this. You know, again, and if you've watched, are there any time scales as to when they do have to release? Steve, that's a good question. The reason, Steve Carpenter, we'll get to that. Kim, welcome. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for joining the show, Kim. As far as the time release timing, I think a lot of it was due to Ital and Veterans Day sale, Memorial Day sale. Trevor, that's possible. But I think a lot of what is going on was waiting to see what Ital was going to do. But you know, on one hand, but on another hand, DJI doesn't need to do that, because if DJI comes out right now, say within the next couple of weeks, or maybe you know, first part of June, and announces the Mavic Pro 2, you know, it's really going to put a dent with Ital, because I know there have been a number of people who put a pre-order in for Ital that are really dissatisfied right now, and they're saying, and can you blame them? You can't blame them about that. I mean, you know, there's been a lot of faithful people who are still sticking with them, but when the Mavic Pro 2 comes out, look out. It's going to be, DJI is going to have its ducks lined up in a row, as they say, and it's, you know, sales are going to explode. As I've said before, you know, Kitty Hawk showed it on, and their number one drone, registered drone, is a Mavic Pro. Yes, thank you, Steve Carpenter. Yeah, the reason they're not automated is cheap labor costs in China. No, the chairman created the iPhone circuit boards. Yeah, they now have 4 plants in China, mostly all manual assembly. You're right, Steve. you know, that it's a manual process for them over there, which, you know, with labor being cheap, I think, and hopefully, you know, automated versus manual, who knows? And that's a whole nother topic. Yeah, Steve, they're going to want their money back. I'll tell customers, and I don't blame them. Pepe Le Pew, no, I haven't heard anything on that at all. It's all been quiet as far. I did know that, what was it, back around Easter, they had a sale on a Typhoon H. I think that was it, B&H Photo, or no, was it Andromeda camera? Other than that, that's the only thing I've heard. Unique's been rather quiet right now. I haven't really heard a whole lot from them. 4-month pre-order, Rick. You're right. I mean, you know, seriously. I mean, you know, there's some good companies out there like Carolina Drones. You know, they're only taking like $75 for a pre-order, you know, which won't break anybody's bank to do that. And if you're buying it, fantastic. It reserves you a spot. But I mean, seriously, Ital is, and they're being very tight-lipped about it. You know, with comments. I think I pinged one of them last week, and I got out of it very, very soon. Okay, we've been hearing very, very soon for a long time here. That's just, yeah. This going 4 or 5 months for this, it's just crazy. And you know, I don't know what to think about Ital anymore. They just need to, you know, but no EVO in Europe is no CE registration. You're right, Stephen. I did hear that, and that's kind of disappointing. Luke, do I know if the latest latest firmware update has been fixed? And which one was that for, Luke? If you could type that in the chat, maybe if somebody could go ahead and try to answer that question for Luke. I don't know what latest firmware update you're referring to. So, you know, with Ital, you know, the Mavic Pro 2 is going to come out, and it's going to be sooner rather than later, and it's going to be in a launch event like they did. Yeah, Unique's gone very quiet, Steve Cross. You're right, absolutely, and I don't know why. I mean, you know, their range isn't the greatest, but I think they make a good product. So who knows with that? But the Mavic Pro 2, it's gonna bust through the roof, and that thing's gonna go flying off the shelves. You think the Mavic Air is selling well now, which it is, by the way, going through the roof. I mean, seriously, absolutely, positively going through the roof right now. It would go through the roof as soon as they announce it. You know, and I'll go back to this week was the 1-year anniversary of the Spark, and I did a video on that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. You know, the Spark really set was a breaking ground and was fantastic. And the last one the transmission error problem. Denny, welcome to the show. Chris Manjo, welcome. Not sure I follow what you're saying, Luke. Which last one? Was it the Mavic Pro, Mavic Pro Platinum? Was it the Phantom, the Mavic Air? Not sure. Maybe a new Parrot launch could be a nice surprise. Yeah, Stephen, I know. Yeah, they're trying to build up a lot of hype about that. So it was only being sold in market in the U.S. Yeah, that's Steve Cross. That is definitely disappointing. Luke, no, I haven't heard anything. If anybody has heard anything regarding the Mavic Air, if I can answer Luke's question, I have not heard anything about that. I've been out there looking. I haven't heard anything regarding that. So, Luke, and again, thank you for joining the show. I don't know anything. Just as a side note here, guys, if you want to get in touch, any news from Mavic Pro 2 end of August, maybe, Chris, we'll talk about that in a second. Luke, one of the things that you can do is on Twitter is direct message DJI support and ask them a question. That's about the best way to get an answer back. And I know I've gotten answers from them regarding things as well. So maybe check that out over on Twitter. They're very good about getting back to you. You know, unlike their email response system, which can be excruciatingly slow. They're very responsive over on Twitter. So Pepe Le Pew, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Chris Manjos, any news from Mavic Pro 2? No real news, but I'm real Ostalev. Yeah, we're going to talk about that here in a minute, Trevor. There's no real news, but I'm thinking we're probably looking at June, at the latest by, the Independence Day, July 4th. I'm thinking it's going to be June or July sometime. Rick, you're right. August would be a great time. They want to capitalize on. Don't even know why I'm here, because if I did on DJI Private, I can't fly in Cutter. Wink, wink. Oh, okay. Kind of got that, Stephen. Wow. Okay. No, as far as that's concerned, it's going to be sooner rather than later. And DJI knows, and they're smart. With summer coming up here in the States, whether people are going to be outside, a lot of people will be out from school. They'll want to get this out, and I believe, like I said, it's going to be sooner rather than later. And I'm betting Mavic Pro 2 in October is in past releases. You could be right, Steve. I don't know. Steve Cross, thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate that, my friend. You absolutely rock. Thank you so much for that. I'm hoping this summer, but who knows? Steve, you may be right. It may be in October to commemorate 2 years. DJI's release cycles, I thought I could try to figure it out. I do my favorite. I get on an Excel spreadsheet. I put down dates and everything. And yeah, you're right, Steve. In time for the holidays. I put dates together, and I went back all the way to the Phantom 1. I think I probably showed that to you guys once. Kim, thank you so much. Appreciate that for the super chat. I went back. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no patterns. Says it's not available in your area. I'm sorry, Stephen. Oh, man. I do have a way to donate through PayPal, Stephen, and it will be in the description afterwards. If you want to contribute to the channel, I appreciate that. Some countries it's not available in. That's Google and YouTube. I don't know why. ROM Drones, welcome to the show this afternoon. Want to talk about now our and I think this was the biggest news that I've seen recently was there'll be a link in the top of the description, Stephen, for you to be able to do that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for contributing to the channel. The Phantom 5, not Phantom 5, that we saw this week with the detachable lens system here. And I know I've heard got a lot of good comments from you guys. And hey, Kestelou from Drone DJ, who, by the way, if you guys don't follow him, or send a barrel of oil. Yeah. Steve, I like that idea. If you heard of Hey Kestelou, he runs Drone DJ. They're great on Twitter and have a great webpage and puts out a lot of good information. And I like him. He's good. I've had several little chats with him on Twitter, and he's a great guy. Definitely encourage you to follow them, on their webpage and also on Twitter. Not sure about they're on Facebook or not, but I look at Twitter, and that's where I get my updates from him. But anyway, he put out an article this week, and he got an email from DJI that stated that the drone that we saw with all those pictures of the detachable lenses and Pepe Le Pew, thank you very much. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much for that. All the detachable who wanted to know who that Enterprise customer was. Yes, Steve, that's exactly what I was going to say. Basically he's saying, that whole mock-up prototype that was built on a Phantom 4 platform was for a DJI Enterprise customer. Okay. And I know, and Steve, I know you've said it in the chat, and others have said it in comments in that video. I'm sorry, not chat, but comments in the video. Oh, that super chat's for Valerie's coffee. You're right, Kim. Trust me, that makes the world go round. No coffee, it's a bad day for Bill. DJI protesting too much me. Thanks. Yeah, I think you're right, Steve. You know, this whole thing, an enterprise customer, I mean, is we've stated, and you guys stated so well, spend tens of thousands of dollars to develop this prototype for a DJI customer. I'm like, come on. I mean, you know, it's trying to pull, you know, the old saying, try to pull the wool over your eyes. No, you know, and I stated it in the video, and I know you guys have heard me state it before, that DJI just does not waste technology. I mean, it doesn't happen. You know, look at, you know, years ago, the Phantom 1, not even, you know, no such thing as a sensor or, you know, any kind of avoidance system. And then today you look at the Spark, and the Spark has, you know, collision avoidance with it. You know, albeit, you know, in a simple version, but still, for and for the price point now, I mean, getting Sparks for like $399 with a remote, it's absolutely crazy. So no, DJI does not waste technology, and I think their enterprise customer, as we kind of discussed in the comments, was themselves. I think they kind of built that for themselves to show that platform is. I mean, when you, and if you know anything about engineering, and I know enough to be dangerous. Oh, Drone Journey, welcome. Thank you very much for joining the show this afternoon. If you know anything, that costs a lot of money to precision engineer those lenses in that lens system. And I think someone else had commented, you know, that Sony was involved with this, that it wasn't Hasselblad like they normally use. And it's going to come to fruition, like I said in the video, whether it's in a Phantom 5 or whether we're going to, you know, Phantom 6, I don't know, but you're going to see this detachable lens system in a Phantom style drone. That's guaranteed. I mean, you know, I agree with everybody in the comments. You know, DJI's not pulling the wool over our eyes. This was not done as a one-off for a one-time deal for an enterprise customer, unless, you know, they're saying the enterprise customers themselves. I absolutely firmly believe that. There's just no way. There is just absolutely no way. You can't pull the wool over my eyes. I mean, I was a little shocked to see that. And what was nice was, hey, Kestalu actually published the email. Sony is expanding with their cameras because of all of you. Yep, they sure are. Absolutely. You know, it was nice actually. Hey, actually, thank you, Kim. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate that. You know, hey, actually, I asked him a question on Twitter, and next thing you know, he replied back with the actual email. It was redacted for personal information, but he did provide the email from DJI. It's nice that he has obviously he has a good relationship with DJI. Yeah, DJI owns Hasselblad line. Yes, absolutely. And you know, to hear that this is coming from Sony, wow. And if you know anything, you know, it's, you know, Lionel, welcome very much to the show. Thank you for joining this afternoon. Appreciate it. You know, if you know anything, you know, it's China versus Japan kind of stuff here. And, you know, going back, you know, there was always tensions between the two countries. But, I mean, if there's a partnership there, I think it's fantastic. I think it's good. But JB Drones, welcome. No. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Had some issues starting up here today, but we're going good right now. Now with Drone Journey, a little trouble in Big Vina. Oh, Sony's expanding with their all camera system and lens because of YouTubers, mirrorless systems especially. You're right, Steve. It's very, very popular right now. I mean, you know, things are taking off as far as you know, live streaming is concerned with you know, all platforms, you know, not only just YouTube. And you know, people are getting into vlogging like crazy, and you know, Sony is ramping up for this, and you know, give kudos to them. They're not sitting still regarding this, and they know that these aerial platforms are a moneymaker for them. I mean, so underplayed by DJI. Hasselblad is massive in the camera world. Yes, it is, Steve. It absolutely is. And if this is true that they're going with Sony, I mean, that's just like, wow. I don't understand that. Spike, welcome. Thank you from Western Australia. Thank you very much for joining the show. I guess it's a Monday morning out there where you're at, Spike. So thank you again very much for joining today. Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more of Sony on drones in the near future. You're right, Steve. Absolutely. And, go figure. I mean, Hasselblad is a well-known name as far as cameras are concerned, and them going with Sony and they own Hasselblad. I mean, wow. I mean, it's just wow. What point will it end? 4K 60 FPS will stay for 5 years for consumer drones. That's true. That's true, Drone Journey. I saw, what was it? Did any of you guys see it? And I saw it on Twitter, and I don't know if I reposted it or not, but it was something. They did this 12K special camera on a helicopter and took it over New York City. I mean, you can't even view something in 12K. It was just crazy, insane. And the cameras were these massive things. There was like 4 or 5 of them. I don't know if you guys had seen anything like that or not, but it was out on Twitter. I looked at it and I just shake my head. It's probably 245 here, a bit too cold to fly right now. You're probably right. It's it's a bit, IMAX. You could be right, Trevor. I don't know, but that 12K, it sounds interesting, but look at it this way: a lot of personal computers, can't handle 4K, can't handle the processing on it. I know with mine, I better have everything else shut down if I'm doing 4K. Spike, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for joining today. I appreciate that. With 4K and anything now more than 4K, it's just crazy. I mean, you have to. I'm looking hopefully later this year to getting a new PC with more RAM and a better video card to be able to handle and do some of this 4K processing. Portable supercoolers, yeah. 4K is hard. It is, JB Jones. It really is. You got to have. You got to have the right amount of memory. You got to have the right amount. You got to have an exceedingly good video card. You probably have to have an SSD for a hard drive. Because that's the only way to go is getting solid state drives, and they're starting to get more. They're starting to get much more affordable. And you're going to need it. I mean, you need this processing power. I mean, you really need it. Not many YouTubers have touched on this. And the next year, we'll all have to film 4K for YouTube. 1080p will be like the old format. Wow, I had not heard about that, Drone Journey. That's very, very interesting. It is what it is. I mean, if that's how they're going, that's how they're going. So you need Billy's setup. His is crazy nice. JB, it sure is. I really like that. Gosh, what he has those massive storage units. He did a video on that. Look forward. Oh, and if you guys join late, Billy's going to be on June the 5th. Circle that day on your calendars, my friends. It's going to be a crazy good show. I'm so pumped up and looking forward to it. Again, Billy Kyle's going to be on June the 5th. So putting another plug in for that show. I wish this Tuesday was June the 5th. I'm so excited to have him on the show. There are a couple of videos out there that are shot on 8K and 12K that are unbelievable. Yeah, I did see the one on 8K. I did see both of those, Steve. They are good. I mean, they're fantastic. Yeah, his show is on later. So good thing, JB Drones. Yeah, you guys need to watch Billy. Billy's absolutely fantastic. But no, this, as far as the camera technology is concerned, this is something that everybody's trying to catch up to. Steve Carpenter, thank you very much. I appreciate that. We need to be ready for it too. And you're trying to stay ahead. What can our eyes even process? You're right, Trevor. Thank you, Drone Journey. Appreciate that. Being able to, not only speaking as far as computers are concerned, but our eyes as well. What we can take in. I mean, 1080p looks awesome to me. I mean, that's why, when I had the Spark, I would look at that and I'd look at 4K. The reason I upgraded to 1 terabyte into a 4 is because of 4K videos. You're right, absolutely. I mean, thank you for that, Lee Genix. It's like it's getting crazy, and the 1080p to me, I mean, it looks as good as 4K. It really does. I mean, I would shoot. You guys have seen the lake over back behind where I live here, And, you know, I've shot it both in 1080p and 4K. Guys, I am not seeing, I didn't see a whole lot of, I mean, to me, I mean, my eyes are pretty good with my glasses. I prefer 1080. Yeah, you're right, Drone Journey, and avoid 4K. Absolutely. I mean, you know, I looked at the stuff that came out of my Spark. It was in 1080p, and it was every bit as good as what came out of my Mavic in 4K. I mean, seriously. Can't post the URL, but I'll post the video link. Yeah, Steve, thank you. I would love to see that. That would be great. Absolutely, positively. You know, and Billy brought up a good point when he talked about that massive storage, and that's another thing too. You know, we got all these wonderful videos that we're shooting, and you know, I know for me, you know, I have a 4 terabyte portable hard drive right now, but you know, what I saw from Billy is absolutely fantastic. I mean, these things are massively expensive. They're about $1,000. But you need something like that to back up all this data. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, video takes up an insane amount of space. Each one, I'll give you guys an example. Yeah, it is, Trevor. It does make a great video. It really does. I have absolutely zero complaints with the video from the Spark. The higher res is good for cropping out the props too. You're right, Stephen. No, I mean, absolutely. You know, I agree, absolutely agree 100% on that. Main difference comes during processing. It does. It really does. You know, we all are going to need this. I mean, it takes me, you know, usually for one of my videos, which are about 6-7 minutes long. I think you guys know that I try to keep the run times down. You know, I'm looking at, it usually takes up between 1 gig and 1.5 gigs, but multiply this out. You know, I've done well over 100 videos now, and that's taken up a lot of space. And that's why I've offloaded a lot of it to the 4 terabyte, but I need to look for another solution. And I really like what Billy's solution, but guys, that's $1,000 just for storage. I mean, granted, it's incredible, and granted, it's a double redundant system. It does do that, the RAID backup, which is fantastic. But wow, you having to watch us and read our messages? Yeah, thank you, Spike. Yeah, take a look down the barrel at the camera so we can see the color of your eyes. Yeah, I'm trying to work on that. I was going to go ahead and actually change venues today, Spike. But we're having very bad weather here. I was actually going to do this broadcast outside. Yes, Bernie, I would love to. I'll talk the missus into it. Well, I would love, probably maybe within the next year or two, take a drone vacation. Visit a lot of you guys over in the UK. I would absolutely love to be able to do that. Video tears up your storage, absolutely. Synology 20 terabyte NAS RAID 6 with 5 drives for my business. You can buy cheaper systems. Yes, I need to look at an option. I love what Billy showed, but I mean, man, that's just a little off topic. Does the Spark have a high temperature shutdown? Will it shut off during flight? Trevor, I don't think so. I mean, I had that thing running like crazy with the Spark. That's a good question. Anybody else experience that? I never did, because I mean, I would push it to the limit with the Spark all the time, bring it back in, and then I'd slap another battery on and go right back out. I would not have any issues with that at all. I mean, it got hot, and one thing that you guys and I'm pretty sure you guys know this is when you bring it in, you know, let those batteries cool down before you recharge them. I don't know if you guys don't know that, that's a good tip. It's something you definitely need to do. You know, don't go in when they're hot and charge them back up again. Let them cool down. Let them get to room temperature. Read that on your Facebook post. 20 terabytes are not really that crazy. Yeah, I would absolutely love to see, you know, that storage solution like that, 20 terabytes for a reasonable price. You know, $1,000. That's just wow. I mean, you're talking a laptop. Email you directly with links to a company I've bought systems from. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. I would love to see some prices on that, because I'm planning on getting a better system at the end of this year. And that's something too, with the technology, with the drones, it's advancing almost seems, and with the cameras, it's advancing almost faster than personal computers are. English language here, Bill. It's advancing faster than that, and trying to keep up with the two it's just crazy. It's just absolutely insane. But one of the other things I wanted to talk about today too, I think it's good we're talking about storage. Indy 32, and it still doesn't cut it. Wow. You've probably seen that DJI has that, and the name of it escapes me for now, but it's rugged. It's a portable drive that you can download your SD cards to directly. I think that's fantastic, especially out in the field if you're working and you want to get your drone back up, or you're on a shoot and you're wanting to get some video on that. I think that's a fantastic way to go. Absolutely, positively love that. I mean, it's good. I think it's pretty reasonably priced too, even for DJI. I mean, it's just great. Can't beat that up here. One of the things before I'm going to wrap things up here in the next 5 minutes or so, but here in the U.S., tomorrow is Memorial Day, and if you get a chance to remember, have a moment of silence for those of us here in the States. Have a moment of silence for those of us who gave their lives in service to their country. Do that tomorrow. I always tell people to refer from saying Happy Memorial Day, but just I always like to say have a nice holiday. But remember, there are families who have lost loved ones in service for their country. So take a moment out tomorrow and pause and remember that. I'm asking everybody here in the U.S. to do that. And I know, I think, over in other countries too. I know over in the UK, you probably have that type of holiday, and I know in Australia you probably have that as well. There are a lot of men and women who gave their lives in service to their countries, and tomorrow's our day that we set aside to remember that. So I just wanted to get that out there. My dad was a veteran. He did survive the war. He's my hero. He was in World War II. And maybe I'll do a video on that sometime, but not to digress here. But coming up on Tuesday night, we're still going to have. Yes, Stephen, thank you. Thumbs up, absolutely. My dad served his country for 3 years in World War II, 1943 to 1945. Can't say enough about his service. Absolutely, positively can't say enough about his service to his country. We have Tuesday Night Rotor Talk Live coming up. Got some other videos. Got a lot of review videos coming up. Wanted to mention that to you guys. I received a lot of products from Freewell. Absolute fantastic, Trevor. Absolutely, that's great. Got a lot of products coming up from Freewell. We're doing the 11/11, but no holiday. Oh, that's a shame, Steve. Probably should. I think it's meaningful. Steve Carpenter, thank you for serving. And to all of you out there who are watching today, right now, live on the broadcast and watching the rebroadcast, if you've served your country, thank you for serving your country, whether it's the United States, UK, Australia, Germany. If you've served your country, thank you. My hat's off to you. My dad did, and want to thank you all very much for that. As a side note, well, not really a side note, but I have some reviews I'm going to be doing on DJI Mavic Pro case. I have some lenses. I have a landing pad. I have a gimbal lock and sunshade, all from Freewell. So be looking for those. Those are going to be coming up this week. We have Tuesday Night Rotor Talk Live coming up. Got some other ones coming up in the works too, which should be fantastic. It was fun. I got to say, the peek inside the DJI factory, that was a fun video. I was so thrilled to do that, and I serve the drone community. Well, I try to. Well, you do a very good job at it, Drone Journey. Thank you very much. No, you guys are absolutely incredible. We got some, like I said, I got some videos in the works coming up here with these, and I have 2 other drone review videos I'm going to be doing on. I have the eSheen E58, which is the Mini Mavic, and the other one escapes the name escapes me for it. But the weather's just been, every time I've been trying to go out there and fly them, you need a very calm day to fly these toy drones because they're so light, and the wind just picks it up. JB Drones, thank you so much. You know, I have, don't forget Tuesday night Rotor Talk Live coming up this Tuesday at 8 o'clock. No guest, but we're going to have a good show. Yes, Steve Cross, thank you very much. We do thank all the vets here in the free world. We owe you big time. Absolutely. Could not have stated that any better, my friend. For those of you here in the U.S., take the time to remember the holiday tomorrow. Trevor, my dad also served in World War II in the Pacific. Originally USS Fletcher. Steve Carpenter, my dad served on the USS Lexington CV-16. It replaced the original Lexington that was sunk in the battle. I believe it was sunk, not Battle of the Coral Sea. And my dad was a plank walker. He was original crew. And the USS Lexington is now a museum down in Corpus Christi, Texas. And my son and I had the distinct honor of being able to scatter part of my dad's ashes on the flight deck. He was in aviation ordnance maintenance. He loaded torpedoes onto planes, loaded bombs onto planes, machine guns. And just an interesting side note, I actually have 16mm film of my dad from World War II. They fixed some of the wing cameras and they used them to record actual video of them on the ship. So, Steve, that's fantastic. Narbox looks pretty cool for storage. Spike, if you've come across, if any of you guys ever have any questions, oh my gosh, Pepe Le Pew, fantastic, that is awesome. You know, World War II veterans have a real special place here for me. I'll tell you that right now. And I see one out in public, I go over there and shake their hand. Absolutely, they deserve that honor. They're probably in their 90s now. I know if my dad would still be alive, he'd be in his 90s right now. Absolutely fantastic. I made a video about the Dam Busters test site. May reload it. Absolutely, Drone Journey. Please do. I would definitely watch that. That's fantastic. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. You know, you know, I'm gonna say enjoy, for those of you here in the States, enjoy your day away from work and be safe and you know, have some time to reflect on the holiday. Enjoy your family. Look forward to a short work week here in the U.S., that's always a good thing to do. And got Tuesday Night Rotor Talk Live coming up. I got some review videos coming up. Hopefully get those drones up in the air if the weather decides to cooperate with me here. And for those of you who joined late, don't forget to look, and I'm going to put a link in the description, Bill the Technology Reviewer. That's my sister channel that I actually started before Bill the Drone Reviewer. Drone Journey, thank you. Don't forget to take a look at that. I've got a lot of stuff about, there are some drone videos out there. I kind of cross-referenced a lot of those from earlier, but there's smartphones out there. There's other technology out there, like I did one on home theater cooling system. I've done one on my portable Shark boombox. And cases for phones and phones, accessories, and things like that. So definitely, I'd appreciate you guys hitting the like button and subscribing out there. Got a lot of great videos. Dad was able to attend the launching on the new USS Fletcher in Mississippi. Oh my gosh, wow. It's 2 now retired. Wow, Steve Carpenter. You and I need to talk sometime, my friend. That would just be fantastic. Sure, we got some good stories. Oh, and next weekend, I'm going to be meeting up, and he might be watching the rebroadcast. But one of the subscribers here from the UK is here in Florida, and hopefully going to get a chance to get together with him next weekend and probably film some time with him. So I'm really looking forward to that. And again, thank you guys so much for watching on a Sunday afternoon. You know, I kind of gear this, as I've said, this is no surprise. I gear this to you guys overseas. You guys absolutely rock my world. Your comments, all your comments are fantastic. But you know, Steve Cross, thank you. Kim, thank you. Anyone try the new? Kim, I got them in, or I'm getting them in at the end of this week for the contest. So you know, be sure to make sure that you've entered that contest for those new blades. David Ma, you're welcome. Thank you for joining today. And I'm going to wrap things up here. Don't forget Tuesday night to show up. Enjoy the rest of your day today, guys. Yeah, I got mine on. Mine are Steve Cross. Mine should be here at the end of this week. Steve, thank you. Thank you, Stephen. JB Drones, thank you. Appreciate you all. You guys have a good week coming up, a safe week. I'll look forward to seeing you Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Steve Carpenter, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Like I said, we need to maybe do a Skype session or talk sometime by phone. All you guys and your support, it humbles me, and it humbles me into doing some great content for you guys. So got a lot of good things coming up. We'll have a good chat here on Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your day today, whether it's Sunday or Monday. Especially thank Spike from Australia. Thank you for coming down, joining today. That was fantastic. Oh, and I know the other thing I wanted to say, absolutely, before I'm closing, I'm sorry. I had this written down on another piece of paper. I forgot it. I'm going to be putting out a video with instructions to do. We're going to do another one of these send in, not pictures, but videos. And I'm going to give you the Dropbox information, my Dropbox information to send in 1-minute videos with a detail around that. You guys contributed some great pictures. So we're gonna do that with video. And I'd love to see a lot of you guys contribute with a video. I think that's fun. Rick, again, Halbert, thank you so much. And thank you for your PayPal donation. That was very kind and generous of you. I appreciate that. I hope you guys know that. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching. And as always, happy flying, guys.